In a peaceful village full of friendly people, everyone knew a gentle old man named Uncle Toby. He smiled at children, helped adults, and shared fruits from his small garden. When he got old and passed away quietly one morning, the whole village felt sad because he had been good to everyone. Days passed, and life became normal again. But one night, something strange but soft happened. At exactly midnight, someone knocked on Uncle Toby's empty house door. Knock, knock. The sound wasn't loud or scary, it was gentle, like someone asking politely if they could come in. The villagers looked at each other, confused. Who is knocking on a house with no people inside, they wondered. Little Mimi, the youngest child in the village, said in her tiny voice, "Maybe someone needs help." Her mother smiled, thinking Mimi was only imagining things. But Mimi wasn't wrong. The next night, at exactly the same time, midnight, the knocking came again. Knock, knock, knock. Soft, steady, and never harmful. Some villagers hid behind trees to see who it was, but no one appeared at the door. The house stayed quiet except for the gentle taps. "Maybe it's the wind," someone whispered. "Maybe a visitor is lost," another suggested. But Mimi shook her head. "The knocking sounds like Uncle Toby. He always knocks slowly because his hands were old." Everyone laughed, but something in their hearts felt warm at her words. The chief decided they should watch the house more carefully, not with fear but with kindness. "Let us not jump to fear," he said. "Not every strange thing is a danger." And so the whole village waited again, listening kindly instead of running away. Bit by bit, they realized the sound felt soft and peaceful, not frightening at all. That afternoon, Mimi shared a simple idea. "Let's put a chair outside Uncle Toby's door. If someone is knocking, maybe they want to sit and rest." Her mother smiled proudly because the idea was gentle and thoughtful. The chief agreed. "Tonight, we will put a chair. We will wait quietly. If the knocking comes, we will say hello." Everyone prepared for midnight. When the time came, they gathered calmly around the house. The moon was bright, and the night breeze was soft. Then the knocking began again. Knock, knock. Mimi stepped forward slowly. "Hello," she said softly. "Are you okay?" Suddenly, a warm breeze brushed by, gentle like a friendly sigh. It made everyone smile. "Maybe someone just wants us to remember Uncle Toby," someone whispered. The knocking stopped, and the breeze settled as if someone had answered Mimi's kindness without using words. The next morning, the chief opened Uncle Toby's old house to check if something inside was making the sound. When they entered, the house was tidy and peaceful. But on the table, they found an old brown notebook. It had been Uncle Toby's. Inside it, they saw a message written in his neat handwriting: "Always check on the people you love. Kindness keeps heart alive." Everyone stared quietly. The message felt important, almost like a reminder. "Maybe the midnight knocking is Uncle Toby's way of helping us remember what matters," the chief said. People nodded. They realized they had been so busy lately that they forgot to visit neighbors and greet the elderly. The notebook felt like a gift left behind. Mimi hugged the book gently. "Uncle Toby is teaching us something," she said. And from that moment, the villagers decided to pay more attention to one another. That night, Mimi brought a small yellow flower and placed it on the chair outside Uncle Toby's door. "If the person knocking is Uncle Toby's spirit of kindness, I want him to have a flower," she said. The village waited again. At midnight, the soft knocking returned. Knock, knock. The breeze grew warm and gentle. Suddenly, the flower moved slowly, as if an invisible hand had picked it up. It floated through the open window and rested inside the house. Everyone gasped softly, but not from fear. It felt peaceful and full of love. "Maybe he likes the flower," Mimi whispered. The chief nodded. "This knocking is not trouble. It is a visitor of love reminding us to care for each other. The village grew quiet again, listening to the soft wind. The knocking stopped after a few moments, leaving behind only warmth and calmness. Stay with us till the end, the moral lesson will shock you. The chief gathered everyone the next day. This is not something to fear, he said. This is a lesson. He explained Uncle Toby's message from the notebook: kindness, checking on others, and not forgetting people who once cared for you. From that day on, the villagers began helping each other more. Children played together and shared toys. Adults visited their neighbors with food, fruits, and greetings. People cleaned the streets and helped the elderly carry their loads. The village became happier than before. Even travelers noticed. This place feels warm, they often said. Mimi smiled proudly, feeling the whole village was learning Uncle Toby's lesson. At midnight, the knocking continued gently, never loud, never frightening, just a calm reminder. The villagers stopped hiding and instead listened with peaceful hearts. The knocking felt like an old friend keeping watch. One cloudy night, the villagers gathered again, waiting for the knocking. As midnight came, they heard it softly. Knock, knock. But this time, the sound was slower and gentler than before, almost like a goodbye. Mimi placed another flower on the chair and said, "Thank you for reminding us. We will keep being kind." A warm breeze circled around the group, touching their faces like a soft hug. The chief closed his eyes and whispered, "Rest well. Your message has reached us." The knocking faded slowly until it stopped completely. The night felt peaceful, like a story ending softly. No one felt scared or sad. They felt grateful. Mimi held her mother's hand tightly and smiled. "He doesn't need to knock anymore," she said. And everyone agreed. They had learned the lesson fully: kindness keeps memories alive. The next night, the villagers listened carefully. Midnight arrived, but there was no knocking. The house stayed quiet. The breeze was cool and calm. Some villagers expected the sound to return, but Mimi simply smiled. "He is resting now." The village felt peaceful. The children slept early. Adults shared stories outside their homes. Even without the knocking, the lesson stayed strong. People continued checking on one another every day. When someone was sad, others visited. When someone was sick, neighbors brought food. The quiet nights reminded them of how far they had come. Mimi sometimes sat on the chair outside Uncle Toby's door and told quiet stories, imagining he was listening. She wasn't sad. She felt grateful. The silence wasn't empty, it was full of love that never fades. Everyone understood, kindness is the most powerful sound in the world, even louder than knocking. Mimi grew more thoughtful as the days passed. She decided she wanted to carry Uncle Toby's message for the rest of her life. She visited elderly people in the village every morning to greet them. She helped younger children tie their shoelaces and shared her snacks happily. Everyone began calling her Little Heart of the Village. Children looked up to her. Adults praised her gently. Mimi never bragged. She simply said, "I'm doing what Uncle Toby taught us." When she walked past his old house, she always waved and whispered, "Thank you." And every time she did that, a soft breeze blew past her cheek, like a tiny warm hug. She smiled each time. She knew that kindness never ends. It moves from one heart to another, just like the soft midnight breeze that once carried a single yellow flower inside the old wooden house. As the years passed, the village continued to grow kinder and happier. Visitors always commented on how friendly everyone was. "What makes your village so warm?" they often asked. The chief would smile and say, "A gentle reminder taught us long ago." The story of the midnight knocking became a tale parents told their children, not as something scary, but as something beautiful. They told it to teach kindness, love, and remembering those who cared for us. Mimi grew older, but she never forgot the soft knocks or the notebook message. always check on the people you love. She shared the message with every child she met. And every night, when the wind blew gently, Mimi whispered, "Good night, Uncle Toby." The whole village learned that love doesn't disappear. It stays in memories, in kindness, and in the gentle ways we treat people every day. Don't forget to subscribe for more powerful African stories.